Ben and Jen, those arrest warrants detail the interactions between the 5 officers and Randy Cox the day of his arrest. It also tells why investigators ultimately found that officers acted recklessly and deprived Cox of proper physical care. 5 New Haven police officers have been arrested, all charged with reckless endangerment and cruelty to persons in connection to the incident that left 36-year-old Randy Cox paralyzed from the neck down.
It is good to see that the criminal justice system is working. We're still not sure if it's working in our favor because we've seen sometimes where officers are arrested but they're not convicted.
Cox was injured while handcuffed and not wearing a seatbelt in the back of a police van. Officer Oscar Diaz was driving the van, transporting Cox to a detention facility. According to the arrest warrant, he was driving 36 miles per hour in a 25 miles per hour zone before slamming on the brakes to avoid a crash. He did pull over after Cox called for help, but the warrant says he, quote, failed to render any medical attention to Cox as he remained lying on the floor face down, violating New Haven PD policy. Instead, he kept driving to the facility while Cox said, please, 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 I can't breathe, and I need you to help me. Listen, I'm going to die like this. Please, please. At the facility, Diaz was met by the other 4 officers. Sergeant BETSY SEGUI was the supervisor on scene. She was found to be in violation of New Haven PD policy for failing to wear her body camera. The warrant states that when Cox said he thought he cracked his neck, she responded, "You didn't crack it, no, you drank too much." According to the warrant, officers Luis Rivera and Ronald PRESSLEY dragged Cox into a holding cell by his arms before EMTs arrived. The warrant also states Officer Jocelyn Lavandier placed leg shackles around Cox's ankles while he was in the cell, eventually dragging him back out by his ankles.
I think justice looks like, to me, these officers will be terminated, number one, and that the city of New Haven certainly has to negotiate with the attorneys, Randy Cox, to make sure that his life is sustained as long as possible.
Moving forward, the New Haven Police Department can now continue with its internal affairs investigation.
The results of that, when I get the results of that, I can discipline up to 15 days. Anything further goes to the Board of Police Commissioners.
Prominent civil rights attorney Ben Crump has also filed a federal lawsuit against the 5 officers and the city.
The city hopes the case will proceed toward an early mediation.
All 5 officers have been released on a $25,000 bond. They're all set to appear in court on December 8th. Attorney Ben Crump will be holding a press conference here in New Haven tomorrow afternoon to discuss the charges against the officers. Live in New Haven, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.